Good morning, world, YouTube. All right, I'm sitting around having some coffee. I thought I'd do a quick video on the Idaho 4, the door locks. It has now been proven that all the doors did have keypad locks on them. And a lot of people are asking, well, how did they get in? They had to either have a code, a key, or how else would they be able to get in there? Good morning, Ombek. Hope your day is going very well. It's very cold here. And next week, we're supposed to get real cold temperature all the way down into Florida. So stay warm. Where was I? Yes, the locks. Well, is there another way to get into them rooms in that house without having a lock or the code? Is it possible? Yes. I'm all right. I'm just taking one day at a time, Moonbeck. But it is possible to get into them rooms without a key or the code. And that's if the batteries went dead and didn't actually lock the doors. Okay. Then the door would remain open. It might have sounded like it was engaging, but it might have engaged and then the batteries went dead. It was just enough power inside the batteries to start the engagement, but it didn't all the way. The other thing is I've been watching a lot of crime cases. How do these people get into the houses and stuff? A piece of tape over the lock. And a lot of people are like, what are you talking? What are you crazy? You know, a piece of clear tape over the lock. See, and I'm going to show you as an experiment real quick. Okay, this might be. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened. I have no idea what happened. I wasn't there. I don't know what kind of locks they really are. I know they are keypad locks. Okay, you have to have a code to get in or a key. But how does someone do that? Well, hold on a second. Beck, do you need a cup of coffee? Just let me know if you need a cup of coffee. I'm having a cup right now. Yeah, a cup of coffee. Here, let me get you a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee for Beck. There you go, Beck. There you go. Cup of coffee for Beck. All right, hold on a second. All right, real fast. Let me show you. Yes, Merry Christmas to you, Beck. Great show the other night. So peaceful, quiet. Are you trying to tell Johnny that Johnny needs to keep quiet? Johnny drives people crazy. All right, let's check this out. Now you see this lock right here? Let me see if you can see the camera. You see how that goes in and out? Okay. Okay. You see how that goes in and out there? So say now I'm using real cheap tape, but a criminal that's an idiot or a crazy man probably would be using some kind of other thing. But now look it. Now you see the lock not sticking out no more. Tape's over it. Okay, so the door shuts, but it don't lock. It don't lock. I don't even have to turn the knob, and I can open up the door. Take tape off, shut door. Hear the door click, door locks. That is one other way that they could have gotten in to the bedrooms. The only other thing I can think of is the locks were either, the batteries were dead or very close to being dead. And the time they used it, it didn't engage the lock all the way because the battery was dead. Now, I'm no professional. Yes, the doors and the lock, because there was no force entry. Beck is right about that. There was no force entry, meaning nobody broke in. They're saying either these people had a key or they had the code to get into the rooms and into the house. And that's the only way they could have got in, unless the batteries were dead. If the batteries were dead, then it might have sounded like the door was engaging, but actually it engaged, but didn't have enough juice in the batteries to engage the lock all the way into the bolt to lock it. It might have sounded like it was locking, but it really wasn't. And if they used a piece of tape that, like I just showed you, and a good adhesive piece of clear tape, they might not even seen it on there. That's also possible. They thought the door was locked, but it really wasn't. All right. So, back, Raphael keeps saying that I'm stalking you. Can you please tell him I'm not stalking? Oh, Pedro was saying the same thing. Why do these people are crazy? They really are. But you are right, Beck. All people might come here and attack me. Really? The locked door is very important. The person strolled in. Who cares about those? People may come there and attack you. Attack me? Beck, I know these guys keep coming in. They keep saying, hey, yeah, we can have a war in America. The government said there'll be no repercussions to me. The FBI knows. So, no, we can probably get rid of them, Beck. Are they bothering you, Beck? Are these people bothering you? Yeah, there won't be. We're like Trump now. We can go out and shoot these people in the head and nobody's going to do nothing, right? Joking. Let's see. Words matter is here. Oh, that's the Griffola. Oh, wait, maybe not. Duct tape would work too. Exactly. Duct tape, good adhesive. And they don't need much, just enough to go down this trim, this piece. A thin piece. Right down here, we keep that lock in. That will keep that lock in. Just enough to where that door won't lock. It'll sound like it's locking, but there's no restricting. When that lock comes out, if there's any resistance in that lock, being that it's a battery operated lock, if there's any resistance in that lock, I believe the lock, there's a spring in there. So it unengages so it don't strip out any gears that are in it. Okay, so I would believe that instead of continuing to engage that lock, even though it's having resistance, I believe maybe it's possible that that lock is designed where if there's any resistance, the gear pops off of the shaft that engages the lock, and the spring releases it back into the thing. Don't worry, Ombeck. Thank you for warning me that these people are trying to kill me. We will let the government and Homeland Security and everybody know. Thank you. Thank you. Are these government people that are coming here? I don't know. We'll see. We're on DEFCON 4 around here. Got everything ready to go. World War III. But that's also how they could have got into them rooms. That's what I'm thinking. Either the battery was dead, or someone rigged that lock, because you can't get into that room without a code. Now, I don't know if there was a key that you also could use to get into that room. If so, there's our two things. Either it was the keypad that malfunctioned, or the batteries went dead, or someone had a key. No forced entry into the whole place, or someone duct taped the lock shut, and it was all planned, possibly bump key. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I do want to thank Uncle Si for showing us how to make napalm. And yeah. So Beck, can you go ahead and tell Raphael that he's got some mad stuff? We're gonna have to drill into his brain probably. We're gonna have to look around. I know NASA was talking. Can you build us a new telescope to look inside Upchurch's brain to see what's going on? I'm like, why spend the 50 mil? There's nothing in there. There ain't nothing in there we could use. Joking, Upchurch. Just joking. Is Raphael the one that's stalking you on Beck and his little group of merry little men? I don't know. Raphael, be good, will you? Quit it. So that's the options that we're looking at with the locks. The locks are the key. The people that fix the locks are the key. And the maintenance company or the rental management team. And I would imagine, being that house is the same color as the apartments, that management team might, or the people might own, whoever owns the property might actually own them apartments that are the same color as the Idaho 4 girls. Could it have been a maintenance guy? Could have been, but the maintenance then would have to have a code to get in there. Did the owner of the property have the codes to get in there? Being that he was the owner, we don't know. You know, when you're a renter of a property, most renters of the property, they have a key, right? You know, some do, but the people that are renting it usually buy new. That's the first thing. You buy a new house and you think no one's got the keys. You best change the locks. Go to the store, buy a bunch of locks and change them. when you buy a home and rent, you know, uh, that's a new law that's out. And a lot of these a lot of these property owners, they lie. Well, you can't do that. But the law has been put in place. Why? Because they had management and apartment owners that were breaking into people's homes while they weren't home and actually committing crimes because they had the key to the property. Theft, all kinds of stuff was going on. Maintenance would show up without anyone there. That's why that law was put in place. you know so if you buy a property and you own it, the first thing you do when you move in is change the front door lock and the back door lock. you know and if you got a sliding glass window or door, cut a 2x4 or a broomstick or whatever and slide down in there. So no, that is a law, Raphael. In certain states, that is a real law, because these people were going in and raping women and children and killing, stealing and stuff. So they changed the laws. Don't worry, Raphael, you're going to have your day in court for stalking and whatever else the women been telling me about. But anyways, that's what you get, Raphael. You should be good before someone kicks you out of here. Now, that's what I'm thinking, though, with the locks. Another thing, the new cam photo that's out. We know that the police think that the murders occurred anywhere between 2:30 to, what'd they say, 4 or 6 o'clock in the morning. First, they said between 3 and 6 in the morning. The girls got home probably about 2-ish, 2:30. They were at the food truck because everyone thought they were already home by then, but they weren't, because there's footage out now that they were at the food truck until 1:59, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. We know Hoodie Guy walked away. Now people are saying maybe it was Big Joe she was looking at and said, "F you, mister." Maybe Joe was the one making comments or whatever, because remember, she knew Hoodie Guy. Hoodie Guy is on their social media. They're all friends. So she knew Hoodie Guy. And that makes sense, because in the beginning of the food truck video, they come walking around the corner. Who's in the middle of them? Hoodie Guy, Jack. And they're bundled up around Jack, or Hoodie Guy, or whoever he is, John, whoever they want to call him, So we know they were friends. They knew each other, and they showed up there together. And maybe Hoodie Guy was just making sure they got a ride or got home safely, right? Maybe they did ditch him. Maybe he is the killer. We don't know yet. But they were friends. It's obvious. If they were in any kind of danger, don't you think they would have went right up to the food truck? This guy's trying to kill us, rape us, whatever, stalking us. I don't know. Because we weren't there. We can only go on the footage. But the answer lies in the keys and the batteries. Now, the police should go and remove them locks and test the battery. But the batteries might be dead. Did they replace the batteries? And that's it. Was the lock broke? And one of the parents changed the locks or went to go fix the locks. Did all he do was change the batteries? Maybe he forgot to put batteries in the door. Maybe they were bad batteries. Maybe the locks were broke. And the father thought it's just the batteries and replaced the batteries. But the lock was actually broke. I mean, there's a lot of things. But could it have been them locks were rigged So it sounded like they locked, but they really didn't. Possible. Or the batteries were dead. It sounded like it was locking, but it ran out of juice and didn't engage the lock all the way into the door jamb. All right, I gotta go. That's my opinion on it. I did see another YouTuber talking about that, and I was like, he's like, I can't figure it out. Well, that's how. See, if you watch a lot of how these criminals, and if you listen to a lot of these mafiosos that get caught and they talk and turn, and they tell you how these people get into your house and everything, and a piece of tape over the lock is one way, right? So watch, you'll learn. It's very disturbing, and it'll open your mind to evil, and you got to close it. It's just evil. I do understand what a lot of people are saying now with you can't watch too much of the true crime or the murders or the forensic stuff, because next thing you know, you're in the corner drooling all over yourself and stuff. Yeah. So, and the only reason I'm concerned anymore of how these idiots attack our children is because now, I'm more older and stuff and realize that people's lives matter, and kids and our own kids and family and nephews, nieces. These are how these idiots are. But we're going to start building for extreme idiots. We're going to start building homes and home defense systems to protect us from idiots, right? Right? You can't even get a good sleep at everyone. Well, your sleep pattern. Well, we can't sleep at night because we're scared to death that people might break in and we might have to kill these people. We don't want to, but we might have to protect ourselves. So what do? Well, you come up with home defense systems. You hit the switch and the door handle on the door has got 240 going to it. You touch that door handle, you're dead. There'll be a protective cage on the inside of the house, grounded, that you won't get shocked, but the guy outside the door that touches that handle is going to fry like a barbecue. I mean, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be protecting our children, our families, our country's morals, integrity. But that's how she could have got in there. Now, Raphael, get ready, because these guys looking for you and these Italianos, they mean business. They're pissed. They're like, this guy says something to one of my women in my chat. I'm not a cinnamon. I got a mozzarella cheese. I'm like, that's him. He's in my chat right there. Track that phone, and then you got the guy. Beat him with a piece of mozzarella, an Italian sausage, a piece of an Italian bread. Do whatever. I don't care. Trolls. You lost, Raphael. I'm joking, Raphael. There ain't nobody gonna do anything to you. Or am I joking? Oh, my kids are gone, Raphael. No, the devil got to them, right? My kids are. That's why I gave myself to the government, Raphael, because my kids are gone, died, killed, murdered, raped, pillaged in this world, brainwashed. Some other guy. Yeah, it's madness. And that's why we chose to use our technology to protect and get rid of the scum. Much like Dirty Harry. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, folks. Dirty Harry was a real movie. A lot of people don't realize that. Dirty Harry was about the psycho Zodiac sniper guy, Zodiac and that sniper dude. So be safe, folks. Another thing, if you do live in an apartment and people do have the keys to your apartment, you have to think, if you're not allowed to change the locks, then you have to come up with other security things. You put a chain on the door. You put a slide bar in. You drill into both sides of the 2x4 studs on each side of the door, and you put a L hook on both sides. And when you go to bed, you put a 2x4 or 4x4 in between. Much like the olden days back in the castles where they just had a piece of wood that came down and locked. Uh, you know, so yeah, it's all about security today, folks. As you can see, we live in a country of madmen. Hello, Sarah Parego. So yes. What'd she say? Let me see. Tell me you're not blaming G woman like yesterday. Who? G who? Go ahead, Sarah Parego. Explain yourself. Let's see what Rob. You don't have to worry about your kids since you wouldn't recognize them anyways. No, I got photos of my kids. I mean, with technology, I don't know. The photos they sent me might not even be my kids. I don't know. That's the kind of world we live in. Minus G, just woman. You gave men free passes. What? I don't have no passes. Oh, you mean when I was doing my Italian skit? The girls get a pass too, Sarah Parego, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, give her a pass. Now I'm wrapped up in the movies right now, Sarah, so I might have been doing a skit or something out of a movie skit. But that's the other way how these people got into the house. Now, the body cam of the 3 kids in the field and the police running towards them to stop them. That was interesting, right? Now, a lot of people ain't looking at this with an open mind, right? The same time that them kids were on camera is when the police think that the murders occurred, right? Now, the kids said, what did the cop say when he came walking up? Was it even a real cop? That's the thing. You don't know, right? Johnny, no comprendo. That's all right, Raphael. That's all right. They'll teach you English in prison. I'm joking, Raphael. Or am I? Now, here's the thing, okay? Because people ain't, was this a hit? Was that college security, or was that the real police? And why did he run into the field? They're saying that somebody, the kids said, what did the cops say? Hey, I was calling your guys' name to stop and come back here. And what did the kids say? We didn't hear you screaming for us or calling our names. Was the cop trying to keep them away? Were they heading that way? Right? Were they heading that way? And therefore, maybe other people knew what was going to happen and wanted to keep as many people away from that area so they didn't see what was going on. Right? Maybe. We don't know. Would it make a great movie? Yes. Were them kids on their way to commit the murders? Were they the killers? The police talked to them, let them go. The police cam said, what's the police cam say? 2 something or something like that? Or one, you'd have to check what sometimes them police cams go in military time, but did the police stop them dudes? And then them dudes went ahead and left. The police let them go. You know, did they have enough time? We don't know. We're looking in. You have to look into all options. You know? How did they know to turn toward the car? I don't know. They're looking for a little Hyundai, but all the photos that I've been looking at of that apartment complex, it don't look like it's a Hyundai. Maybe they're looking for a white Hyundai in another case. And the police do that. It looks like a white Suburban, like a white Bronco or a Suburban or something. It don't look like no Hyundai to me that's parked on the side of the garbage can. And that vehicle, actually, that is parked there, was there before that and is still there, I think, today. So where's the white vehicle come from? I don't know. Some people are saying the video that they're seeing, there's a white vehicle parked up right in front of the apartment complex. They're not looking at the white vehicle that's that it looked like a white van or a white Suburban vehicle or something. It could be that kid, that dude James, that they're talking about that was picked up out there. Maybe, possibly. You know, had nothing to do with the girls. You know, it was just a random killing. He got lucky. He might have been scoping the place and went ahead and took the opportunity and did it. But the locks, we're looking at the locks. How did they get in? There's only one way to get in that place, with keys or the code. So is that lock designed where if the batteries go dead, the lock automatically locks and you have to use a key to get in? We got to do more research on them. Well, not we, the police need to do forensic and everything, more research on the key lock. When the batteries go dead, do you have to revert back to a key? And I would imagine you have to. And this is interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's radical. It's unbelievable. So there's my opinion on the locks. Could they have been taped? They could have been. Killer took the tape off after he left. It's possible. Is it possible the batteries were dead and he just walked right in? The doors never locked all the way. Why? Because the batteries were low. Is it possible they did change the batteries? Locks were broken. It sounded like they were locking, but it didn't. Possible. There's a lot of possibilities. We won't know until they're done with the investigation. Let the professionals do their jobs. Right? Right. Other than that, I'm sitting here having coffee. It's a little chilly out today. We got some storms coming later on tonight, I think, and tomorrow. But we might get lucky, and they're supposed to dump massive amounts of snow. But that's across the lakes. We might get lucky. But next week, they're saying we're in for it. All the way down into Florida. Freezing temperatures and all the way down south, big snow, big cold next week if the pattern holds in. We're talking, it's 35 below zero up in Canada, folks. Just a big trough of cold weather, like the olden days when we were kids up in Chicago. 50, 60 below zero, and some of them storms that we had out there when we were kids. with the wind chill, with the wind blowing. 60 below zero, 50 below zero, 40 below zero. I remember that when we were kids up there. So get ready for winter. We might not get snow, but they are saying we're gonna get some cold weather. It's gonna be cold. I can do without the snow. No. Well, I guess I could do with this. No snow. This is cold. All right. Anything else you folks want to ask? Feel free. You know, feel free. Yeah. Sarah Parego. Oh my. I don't mind minus degree, but 30, yeah, it's 35 to 40 below up in Canada right now. And that cold weather's sitting up there, and they're saying it's going to make a dive down into the lower 40 here. Big cold. Woo! Doggy. Gonna be cold. Sarah, I hope I didn't upset you at all, Miss Parego. If I did, my apologies. I just been getting slammed with all these trolls and Johnny Kramer haters, John Kramer haters, and just big haters all over the world coming at me big time. Big money coming at me, big powers. Hope I didn't offend you at all. But that's my opinions on the locks. It is possible they had the key. It is possible they knew the code. It is possible that the batteries were dead and the dang thing didn't even lock. It's possible that they taped the lock, meaning it sounded like it was locking, but it really wasn't locking all the way. You know? So maybe there's a lot of things they need to look into. No, thank you, Sarah Parega. It's nice to have good people like her in a chat that wants to talk about things or music or whatever, or just hang out. But when you get people in here trying to make it out like you're a killer or you're a deadbeat dad or an idiot or whatever it is, or oh, then again, I was never raised to pry in people's lives. That just I was raised, mind your own business and go about your, who cares who dies, it's not your business. And that is true. I am letting other YouTubers out there know, and children, if they are seeing this, I don't think so, because everything I do is not made for kids. Except for my music videos. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. My heart goes out to the families. Who was the person that changed the locks? What was wrong with the locks? Did they change the battery in the locks? They could have fixed the lock. Maybe it was the key that wasn't working, and they fixed the key part of it, but it was really the code part that was, maybe the batteries were dead. We don't know. They're going to have to do a lot on that. Men play part to just saying, I don't know, victim's dad fixed locks. Yeah, that's what they're saying now. Xania's dad, not Steve or whatever his name is. Xania's dad or something, Ethan's girlfriend or something. Yeah, who knows? Code part lots of people knew. Yeah, the codes. Yeah, what they should have did was changed all the codes. When you live in a party house like that, and you, there's a good chance somebody has your code. They could have been tracking them on the internet. They could have had a app that someone hacked, and they had the codes and everything. I know the front door has something to do with it, folks. Why? Because there's red tape all over the front door, at the top of the door. and down by the lock. So the front door has to have something to do with it. Or why would there be red tape on it? That's evidence marking, I think. Was there prints, whatever? The window, the window with the small handprint on it could have been a smaller dude. There was a couple smaller dudes that showed up on the food truck video. One of them walked up by hoodie guy when they were ordering the food, said something to him, and then turned around and looked around and just sat there. I never seen the dude order food. He just sat behind the girls looking at the girls. He sat, well, he didn't sit, he stood behind two people. Now, I don't know. And let me tell you another thing. That girl, Kaylee, from the time she got on video at the food truck, she was chatting with somebody on her phone. That girl was, the whole time she was there, she was on her phone. There's got to be data from her phone. She was talking to somebody, and she didn't put that phone down. She did for about a minute. But other than that, she was on that phone texting somebody or doing something. I don't know. Could them girls have turned on him? Were they friends? A lot of people are saying they knew they were friends with hoodie guy. They were in a bunch when they showed up there. They were all together, huddled close together, walking. He was like in the middle, I think, of them. You know, could they have tried to set him up to make him? I don't know. A lot of people are saying she wasn't even talking to hoodie guy and said it was Joe. And that makes sense because she said Mr. Well, she already knows who hoodie guy is. She already knows him. She's friends with him. They're walking around. They were at a party together or whatever they're saying. Why would she say Mr.? Yeah, maybe she was talking to Joe. Big Joe Gibola, Crazy Joe. That's really not it. His first name's Joe. I don't know what his last name is. I'm just, it sounds good. Crazy Joe Gibola. Yeah. Maybe. We don't know. It could have been someone lurking leaning up against the building that was in that dark area, shaded. Looked like they had a mask on and possibly, I don't know. There was a lot of people standing back in the darkness where you couldn't see them. The shade of the building was blocking them. All you could see is gym shoes or outlines of shoes. All right, there you go, folks. Have a great day. Be safe. Thank everybody, and you know, what do you do? I don't know. But there you go. My opinion, could the door have been locked but taped? Yeah. Could the batteries have been dead? Yeah. Could the batteries have been taken out? The father said, I'm going to change the locks, and took out the batteries. Therefore, they're punching codes, but there ain't nothing happening. Yeah. Maybe. Did the batteries just die out? Possibly. That night might have been the last energy of the battery. And them doors, when you shut the door, you don't have to lock it. It locks automatically. And if the batteries are low, it might have went into the transition of locking, but never finished locking all the way. Or the locks were taped. And it's very possible the locks were taped. And when he was done, he took the tape off the locks. It's possible. We've been watching a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Watch a lot of these guys that were robbers and thief guys on YouTube, and they'll tell you how they got into homes, how they got into businesses. I've seen one guy tape a lock on a bank. You know, the alarm said locked, everything good, but it wasn't. He taped the lock, went back in and stole. Either it was a bank or some big store, and thank God there was cameras or whatever. But you know, the alarm never went off because it showed the locks were taped. So yeah, it's possible. You gotta watch a lot of this stuff. I'm done watching all this madness on this stuff. I'm tired of all the research I'm watching. How it's nuts. But yeah, it's possible. And there you go. And who were the three kids? When did the police let them go? What direction did they head in that body cam? What were the police doing out there already? Was there a report of them kids? Or was something more sinister going on where that cop seen three people heading that way and maybe they didn't want nobody to be around there because maybe other people knew what was going to happen. Maybe, we don't know. You folks have a good day. Be safe. Quit trying to scam people on YouTube. Quit using people's names bad. And this is, I agree with some of the YouTubers. These people, they come into our chats, they say bad things, they do bad things. There's trolls. They start rumors. Next thing you know, you got people dead over a rumor, and then they come at, well, you did it. Well, you should have shut your mouth and mind your business, right? That's what they're going to tell you. That people don't care no more. It's all about, it's madness. But keep safe. Today's world is all about security, right? That's what it's about. So be safe. Love everybody. Have a good day. I'll be back later. Sarah Parego, you too, Johnny. Have a great. Yes, Sarah Parego. Have a great day. I might be related to you. I don't know. I don't know. I've been locked away for 30 years. My own little world. They only take me off the shelf when they need something. No, there is no wrong scenario, Sarah. There is no wrong theory in a murder or a kidnapping. Yeah. There's no wrong nothing. People are just trying to help, and we watch this stuff on YouTube, and then we learn how evil the world really is, and people can really be. These people, the devil ain't real. Oh yeah, I think he's trespassing on me right now, right? You got to be strong, right? Pray to God and all that stuff. Lord, thanks for another day and forgive us for our sins. And you are the true King of Kings. And we only pray to God around here on this channel, not Satan. Sorry. No, you folks have a great day. Be safe. Love you all, and I'll be back. I do want to thank Sarah and the great Becky Beck. Excuse me. For stopping in, and even one of the great trolls known all over YouTube, Raphael, his sidekick, Bendejo, and their trustee, Pedro Williams, better known as M13 Lock Force. Crazy madness. I don't know. Wait, before I leave, let me see what Sarah said. YouTube are trash, others for view, and YouTube checks. Don't believe them. Just saying. You're right, Sarah. I will be back. Glad I found you. Found who? Me? Are we related? Are you my long lost mother? Are you rich? I hope so. Are you famous? Are we movie stars? Are we moving out of the country? I hope we are. Sarah Parego, have a good day. Be safe. All right, be safe. Please be safe. Though I'm trying to help people. The world's nuts. The world's nuts. Do you have any Parego sauce? I was thinking about making spaghetti tonight. I made tacos last night. The whole spiel, the cheese, the refried beans, the hot sauce, the sour cream. I had two small tacos. I should have ate more. I was starving, but I had two small tacos, and that was it. That was it. So I'm thinking about making spaghetti. I wasn't sure if you had any extra Parego around. If you do, send it my way, please. I can use it. Mamma mia. No. You folks have a good night. I'm just joking around. I'm not joking about the crime kit. Could the locks been tampered with? Could the batteries have been dead? Could the killer had the key or the code? They had to. Either the malfunction in the locks or they were broke. Something's up here. Something's up. People are looking. Hey, tank top guy looks kind of crazy. He does. When he turns around, that face he's making. Maybe he was all ready to go, meaning there wasn't going to be much blood on him. If there was, he could have washed it off real quick, being he was only wearing shorts and a tank top. We don't know. We're looking at everybody. Now you folks have a great night. Sarah, thank you very much for stopping in and being oh so polite. And the great Becky Peck, for being so nice uh, and stopping in. Although these people could be on the phone with the police right now saying he's a nut job. It's what kind of world we live in. Good day, folks.